Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, doing the European outlook for today's second video. So as always on a Thursday, we're having a detailed look at the weather for next week, 10 days across Europe, and I should get some of that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video release day was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and got 10 to 14 day out with all of the regular features coming up for you later on today as well. Please like, share and subscribe on all of today's videos and content, and thank you so much everybody for doing that. I hope you're having a lovely Thursday. Right, massive scenario across Europe today. So low pressure is in control across the north and the west of Europe. A trough of low pressure sitting to the north of Scotland, bringing unsettled conditions into the northwest. We have got a ridge of high pressure though on the east side of Europe, and we're drawing up a warm southerly wind on the east side of Europe too. Upper air temperatures have become cooler in the far west and northwest of Europe, cold across the far north of Scandinavia. Yes, there have been some unusually early heavy snowfalls across northern parts of Sweden just recently, with that cold air that's already beginning to filter in from the Arctic, as you can see there. However, most parts of Europe are actually looking very warm this Thursday, with wind drawing up from the south again, bringing all of that warmth up from North Africa and from the Mediterranean. So we've got outbreaks of heavy rain through parts of France into the low coast, give some thunder mixed in with that, pushing into Denmark and Germany as well, extending up into Norway and just moving into Sweden as well. This precipitation up here could be giving snow in the far north of Sweden. Also, some showery bursts through Finland and into the northwest of Russia as well. Going further southwards and eastwards, that lots of dry weather, but we do run into showers through the central part of the Mediterranean, so those extending over into the Balkans. There is some showery rain pushing through parts of Portugal and into Spain, southern parts of France as well. The central bulb of there and the eastern red boat looking mostly dry. And it is very warm through the central eastern parts of the Mediterranean, from Germany eastwards, really looking very warm today. Again, temperatures widening into the 20s Celsius. Exceptions, again, you can see the cold air sitting there through northern parts of Sweden, extending up into as far north of Finland as well, maybe, and possibly the extreme north of Norway too. Pretty cool through Norway, UK, Ireland as well, and down into western parts of France, but from eastern France eastwards, that's when we run into the warmth and the heat. That's tomorrow, Friday. So again, we're drawing up those southerly winds over on the eastern side of Europe. Pretty warm there. Cooler with those northwesterly to northerly winds into western parts of Europe. A proper east-west split, with the upper air temperatures looking hot across the east part of the bed and very warm extending up the eastern side of Europe. Cooler though out to the north and the west. We are beginning to see that cold air across the northern parts of Scandinavia starting to retreat away to the north, by the way, into tomorrow. So yes, there will be further heavy showers, longer spells of rain too through parts of Norway and into Sweden. Go further north, so that could be snow initially, but I think it probably turns back to rain as that milder air begins to push back northwards again. Then we've got heavy showers through the UK and Ireland, longer spells of rain into the Low Countries, Germany, France, with those moving eastwards over the Alpine region, Switzerland, on into Hungary, Austria. Again, we could see some big downpours through there. The east of Europe looks mostly dry, with a lot of very warm sunshine, one or two scattered road showers. Most of the showers, most of the Med looking main dry, but there could be some showers through the central part of the Med, from the Balearics to Corsica and Sardinia. Hottest temperatures over on the east side of Europe, where it looks very warm again, temperature widening into the 20 Celsius, cooler further north and west, still quite cold through northern Scandinavia, but as I say, the coast of it begins to retreat away to the north a little bit, and generally seeing those temperatures on the cool side though through many northern and west regions, or near normal. On into Saturday, we're going to find that the heat is being restricted to extreme east of Europe by then. Another area of low pressure, trough of low setting up over Scandinavia. Slight transient ridge building into western Europe ahead of the next major low containing the remains of Hurricane Nigel in the Atlantic. Those upper air temperatures see the hottest there. Again, just easing out a little bit further eastwards, really becoming confined with the very hottest of the air from the Balkans to the Black Sea, but still pretty warm at the eastern side of Europe, including those Baltic Sea states of Latvia, Estonia and Lithuania too. Out to the northwest, that's where we've got the cooler air once again in from the North Atlantic. We've got heavy showers, longer spells of rain, possibly thunder, marking the boundary between the hot air that is still sitting in the extreme east and the cooler air out to the north and west of the Balkans. Italy, the Balkans, through the Adriatic, could see some big showers and storms on Saturday. They push northwards, perhaps into parts of Poland, maybe threatening the extreme west of Ukraine, and moving northwards still into those Baltic Sea regions and into the northwest of Russia. Following on behind, it's sunshine and showers through other parts of Scandinavia, low countries, Germany and Poland, and then mainly dry through France, Spain, Portugal, into the UK, but the next area of wet and windy weather just beginning to threaten the far west of Ireland by day's end. Again, we see the hottest temperatures in extreme East Europe, and particularly in the southeastern corner, out to the north and west. That's where it's looking quite a lot cooler again on Saturday. Into Sunday, high pressure starts drifting eastwards through those western central parts of Europe as low pressure begins to push back in to the extreme northwest. The upper air temperatures show back the hottest of the air. Again, it's like through the eastern part of the Med now, Greece and Turkey in particular, but it's starting to warm up again out to the west actually, but it's associated with the remains of Hurricane Nigel, so it will be unsettled. However, we see the upper air temperatures pushing up through the UK, Ireland, and also into west parts of France, looking very warm through Spain and Portugal as well. Cooler through the central regions, perhaps with those upper air temperatures on Sunday. Wettest weather is over on the extreme eastern side of Europe again. Heavy showers, possibly 1 or 2 thunderstorms pushing eastwards. Been a lot of dry weather actually from many central, northern, western regions before we run back into the wet and windy weather, returning to Ireland and Britain. Temperatures on Sunday look very warm to hot in this extreme eastern corner, really being restricted towards the Black Sea and the Ukraine or southwest of Russia now. Scandinavia continues to look quite cool, not as cold as it is right now in the far north, and perhaps turning a little bit warmer through islands, to parts of England and Wales, and down into France, Spain and Portugal on Sunday. That's Monday, so low pressure is dominating out in the Atlantic, pushing into the northwest. It is bringing relatively mild southwesterly winds with it. High pressure meanwhile situated across central and eastern regions. Looking quite warm for those upper air temperatures on Monday. Be warm associated with the remains of below, that is Hurricane Nigel, will be filtering northwards and eastwards across many parts of Europe through the course of Monday, but starting to turn a little bit cooler again from the Atlantic in towards Ireland and western Scotland. Outbreaks of heavy rain moving from Ireland and the UK into the North Sea, threatening Norway, probably France, the Low Countries and Denmark by the end of Monday. And further east of that, lots of dry weather under the area of high pressure, but some heavy showers and thunderstorms possible through some parts of Italy, perhaps into the Greek islands, maybe pushing northwards towards Romania and whatnot. Temperatures, I'm so sorry, temperatures on Monday should be very warm in the far east, cooler in the north and west, but still pretty warm through parts of France, Spain, Portugal, and that warmth increasingly moving into the Low Countries and Germany. But remember, it is bringing outbreaks of rain with it. Moving through into Tuesday, a new area of low pressure starts sweeping in towards Ireland and the UK, keeping the unsettled weather going into the north and the west of Europe. It will be mild with wind from the southwest still, but unsettled. High pressure again, it's in control through the more central and eastern parts of Europe. The upper air temperatures continue to look very warm across most areas, but perhaps turning a little bit cooler eventually with this area of low as it moves in towards the UK and Ireland. Further outbreaks of rain across Ireland will be spreading eastwards through the UK in towards France, probably the Low Countries as well through the course of Tuesday. And further north of that, we've got showery conditions across Scandinavia, some heavy showers and thunderstorms again through southern Italy into the Greek islands especially. Otherwise, once again, we do see quite a lot of dry weather under that area of high pressure. And those temperatures looking warmish through the eastern part of Europe, but also down towards the south and the southwest, cooler once more with the wet and windy stuff out to the north and the west. Low pressure is dominating through into Wednesday as well across many western parts of Europe. High pressure continuing to rule the reefs over on the eastern side. Those upper air temperatures remain very warm in most areas, especially so down across southern parts of Europe. Further wet and windy weather through Ireland, the UK, into France, the Low Countries, Denmark, and pushing northwards in towards Norway as well. More storms likely in the eastern part of the Mediterranean. Otherwise, again, you see quite a lot of dry weather, especially through more eastern parts of Europe. Warmest temperatures there, becoming cooler again in the north and west, possibly turning quite cold again across the far north of Scandinavia. Winter is coming. And then on into into Thursday, where, yes, you've guessed it, continues to look unsettled in the west and the northwest, with further low pressure and spells of rain. Always the driest weather over on the east side of Europe, with this area of high pressure but remains in situ through the west of Russia and the far east of Europe. Upper air temperatures still looking very warm, much warmer than you'd expect for time of year across most southern, southwestern parts of Europe, and extending into the east. Well, always that little bit cooler with the low pressure out to the north and west, but not cold, but closer to average, I suppose. And further wet weather is likely through Ireland, UK, in toward northern France and the Low Country, Belgium, Holland, Netherlands, with some of that wet weather at times pushing northeastwards into us, Norway and Denmark and Sweden as well. Areas to the south and east of that seeing a lot of dry weather, whereas heavy showers and burnt shores from Greece and Turkey begin to fade out by the time we get to Thursday. Hottest temperatures again across these more southern southwest regions and in the east. Coolest once more through Scandinavia into Ireland and also the UK too, where we have the wet and windies. I just run you on to day 10, so that's Friday. Well, low pressure continuing in the Atlantic to the northwest Europe, higher pressure in the south and the east keeps things drier and warmer there, and then into the weekend of the 30th of September to the 1st of October, where it remains unsettled in the northwest of Europe with further low pressure, bringing spells of rain at times, but driest weather always across these more southern and also some eastern parts of Europe. Okay, that's European Outlook for this week. If you've enjoyed the forecast, found it useful and informative, please can you like, share and subscribe. And we'll be back with another one for you next Thursday. We've got 10 to 14 there with all other regular features coming up for you later on this afternoon. So keep checking back to the channel for more. For this week's European Outlook, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.